it. Music
Well,
fill
I
it.
was gonna say,
Right,
oh, there's more.
right. You know what? I could play a little something for you. Actually,
Yes.
let me play one of Lewis's releases that he has coming out. He just remixed Point of No Return, which was one of his most popular hits from the 80s by a freestyle group called Expose. So I could play a piece of that for
Felix, will streaming shut us down because it doesn't know if we own the music?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
let's
okay.
not do that then.
Then let's
Yeah.
not do it. Okay.
I'm not
So, all right,
charging yet.
wait. No, let's go ahead and get some wins. We have like 5 minutes to get some wins. All right. So let me hear some of your wins. Felix, you're already unmuted. Give us a win.
Oh man, there's so many. Just being on this phone call, on this Zoom call is a win for me because it's given me clarity and the realization that this is a platform that I need to be thriving in and exercising more. So it's really got me thinking about products and online sellables that I could be doing in order to feed this network of people that are looking for this kind of wellness, that are looking for this type of greatness and overcoming whatever obstacles or getting into this type of space. So just being gifted to be able to be on this platform is a humbling experience for me, to be totally honest.
I love it. Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. Yeah. And you guys, it's been a win for me to notice that aha yesterday of what opens for you men when you're in our space. And that's very healing for us as well, to see how so many of the men, like I mentioned, many of my mentors are amazing men, and they opened incredible doors for me, and they taught me things that I would not have learned without them. And it's just been so beautiful to create this space of women and to see how it impacts you guys, the men who love us and support us and do business with us and grow with us, seeing how that tenderness brings forward the vulnerability and the strength and other parts that don't normally come out. That was a big aha for me yesterday. And I think that's an aha for women, for us to group receive what that impact has been. Yes, Tanya. Hi, DJ Martini.
Hi.
Hi,
Martinet,
Yes.
Martinet.
Martinet. Got it.
I just had to celebrate. Yesterday, I had 3 diva conversations with different women that I hadn't connected with in the group, with Kim, with Marita, with Melanie, and it was just awesome to be able to start co-creating together and see how we can support each other in the group. And so I just encourage everyone to reach out and start connecting with everyone in the group and see what we can co-create together, how we can support each other. Because Marita reached out to me knowing that I was moving to Bali and that Justine and I wanted to do retreats there. And she's like, I have a friend that's starting a hotel there. It's like all this magic is happening by just reaching out and connecting. And to me, that's a huge win and taking advantage of what we signed up for in this group. So just had to share that with all of you.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And so we've got about 2 more minutes of wins. I do have an announcement for our group. And then Felix, I'll let you introduce our guest for today and tease up tomorrow too. I think we have another or you'll let me know. I know what we've got going on tomorrow, and JKN will mention that. So a couple of things in announcements, though, if I don't see anyone raising their hands for wins. One win is my friend Wakita Okoli. I don't know many Wakitas, so I think this is my friend Wakita Okoli in the room, and we go back to 2004, whenever on 444, at April 4th of 04 of 2004, I met her at an event because people were seeing 444 all around the world. And I think that is Wakita in the room. Anyway, welcome, Wakita, if that is you. Yes, Dr. Andrea.
Yes, a quick win. Yesterday, I don't know if you remember that Ruth, she's from Kenya. She was sharing about how valuable it is to be in the network. And then we were talking afterwards, and she's planning to go to our premiere in Miami, in Fort Lauderdale. So that's a good win. She's going to meet you all and interact. So we look forward to be there.
Oh, awesome. That's a great win. Great win. I love it. Well, thank you. So I'm Ed and Kim Cross have been sending me sad face emojis all morning because they got double booked somehow. Crying emojis, all of these, all of these emojis. So anyway, they're missing us today. I mean, they're literally, look, oh, you can't see my screen. Yeah, I'll screenshot and share. Okay, so here are our announcements. This week has been and continues to be an epic week, and it's one that has been open to the public as well as to our members. And one of the things we've been teaching through this whole thing is, talk to your clients and the people that you serve and find out what's really working, what's collapsing time, what do they want more of. And so we redesigned how our community will operate from now on based on talking with our people that are winning, that are creating alliances, that are creating collaborations. And so next week, there will be a new schedule, and it's still the same times, but you will get notified by email and in school of the way that happens. So pretty much every day will be members only beginning next week, except for Tuesdays. So Tuesdays, we will have a special guest speaker. Often they're one of our celebrity guests or something like that. And you will be able to invite friends, invite colleagues, invite people. And then we will have a Join the Divas right after that, the hour after that, on how people can join this community and become a member and get their questions asked. But all the other days will be members only. Then Wednesdays, specifically, if you're only going to come to one day, is the day that I think is the most valuable. However, there will be descriptions of other days, and you could choose to go to whatever days you want, all the days, or just maybe you think there's a more important day than Wednesday. I'll tell you why I think Wednesdays are the most important. We have 2 meetings that day. We give you an Elevate training where we bring you one of our top community people, Felix Sama, someone from our community, or we're teaching on how to maximize community. So how do you create collaborations that turn profitable and impactful? How do you network in a powerful way where you stand out and you maximize this community and all the who's we bring to you? And then the second meeting is when you go into networking with the community. And to me, that's the most valuable part. The people you meet, the connections you make, and knowing how to do that well. So Wednesdays, to me, if you're only going to pick one day, that's the best day. The other days, we have them laid out. Mondays will continue to be Momentum Monday. It's when you set up your metrics. It's when you do all the things that you go, what have I done already? What can I celebrate? And what do I need to create this week in order to be in powerful momentum on the vision that I'm called to fulfill? And you do that inside of community and hot seat coaching around that. Tuesday's the public day with speaker and always very valuable. Wednesdays will be our core meetings that you already have. And I'm speaking about the US market right now. Africa may start other days, Latin America other days. And again, you could come to all of those if it's relevant. Thursdays will be Diva Talks. So at first, Thursdays will only be the training on how you do that well. How do you communicate in a way that gives so much value that people get ahas, whether they ever work with you again, and the ones who are meant to work with you go, oh my gosh, that's my girl, that's my guy. I need to run to this person. So we're going to train you on that before you start doing it. So at first it'll be trainings. And then once we start scheduling the Diva Talks, we will open those to the public. So we'll stream them. That way we're raising your visibility in and outside, but also you'll be able to invite people to come. It's like your TED Talk, but it's your Diva Talk, right? And so that'll be really, really awesome. Those will be Thursdays. And then Fridays will be mastermind days. So this is going to be where you get to have the whole community think through where you're stuck or where you want to go next. So everybody will be focused on you for as a community, you'll be focused. I got a little too, I hit the mouse. You'll be focused on solving things for each other and actually masterminding through each other's situations, which again is one of the most powerful parts of being in a community. So that's all going to be members only. And part of why we have members only is another thing that we got from you guys is, what do I come to? There's so much going on. What do I come to? So some of you will still come to all of it. Some of you will just come for certain days. And then the other thing we got is what's different really for the members versus the public. So we're making that really clear so you can go deep with your people. So it's not so transient and people coming in and out, and all the focus time is you really maximizing that time. And yet we can still be generous to the public and the public, right? But the rest, the non-members, and have great invitations. So anyway, thank you for listening to all that. I'd like to know in the chat or in the emojis or with your face, does that sound like a good remix based on what you told us? Because you all, I know it was like a lot of data. It was like when the PTA announcement comes up or at church, they stand up and tell you how the budget went. But I want you to know what's going on. Yes, 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 you're with me. Okay. So, that's not my favorite part. As you know, it's not my favorite part. I love taking the wins. I love bringing you the awesome people. So let's go ahead and have Felix, if you'd like. Yeah, you're all going to love the new format. I just want to see it on your face because I feel bored looking at you are like this, looking at me like this. Okay. Thanks for the energy. Now you've given me laughter and smiles and hearts, and that makes me feel back in the game. Okay. So Felix, let's go ahead and announce. I want you to edify and introduce your guest today, and we get to give it up for Felix for bringing us Felix and Friends. Right?
Yes.
It's who
Thank
you
you so much.
know, who you know. We bring him people, he brings us people. Yes.
It's been my pleasure to do that. Before I introduce him, though, I just want to know how inspirational these calls have been for me these last couple of days. So I've had conversations with Stevie. I've had conversations with Stuntman. I've had conversations with Lewis. So we're going to put together an EP compilation of inspirational music, motivational music, strictly for a platform like this. Like I said, because I've been inspired by this. So we're going to go in the lab and start working on some of this music. Now, I also want people to know that aside from what we're doing, all of this stuff can be customized to represent your brand as well. A lot of times, music moves mountains, and you need something to identify what you got going on musically. And I think whether it's binaural, meditational music, house music, rock and roll, hip hop, there's all these different types of genres that we specialize in and that we could customize to your brand, and we'll work with you guys. So don't think that it's some type of top dollar situation going on here. We'll work with you guys and try to make it fit so that it serves your purpose. So I just wanted to put that out there. I'm going to be working on some music. I'll be shooting it over to Adora, and hopefully she'll be spreading it out to you guys as well.
One of
Lewis,
those is a diva song. with
That's going to be at the top of the list. That's going to be
you
at the
know
top
why?
of the
Because he loves the ladies and we're a bunch
yes,
of
yes,
ladies. So we're
yes.
gonna move the music and we loved him. He has such a huge heart. So thank you. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, he couldn't stop raving about you ladies. So I've been working with Lewis for many years now, and this last year we've been really working closely together on projects. We've produced, I want to say at least 3 to 5 songs in the last couple of months. Louis Martinet, born as Louis Martinez. You never told me the story why you changed it to Martinet, so you got to tell me that story. But he's a producer, songwriter, DJ based here in Miami, Florida. He's had #1 Billboard pop chart hits as a writer and producer of the song Seasons Change by the freestyle group many of you may know, Expose. He's had multiple records reach top 10. He's been the BMI Songwriter of the Year. Expose, popular group in the 80s. He's repackaged it. The new group is called Oh Baby. Lewis has had the pleasure of working with artists like Ricky Martin, Enrique Iglesias, Celine Dion, Company B, Jermaine Jackson, the Pet Shop Boys, Elvis Crespo, and the list goes on and on and on. Ladies, mostly ladies, please welcome platinum producer Louis Martinet.
Woo, 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 woo.
What's up, Louis? It's great to see you. Adora, I'll let you take over the floor.
Well, I'd like you to kick it off. We haven't co-hosted officially
Okay.
together.
Yeah.
So you kick it off
So,
and I'll jump in here.
sure.
Yes, you're
So
muted,
oh,
Dr.
sorry.
Martinet. Not you.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Louis, you're muted. So unmute yourself. There's an unmute button right there. You can
Yeah,
unmute yourself.
there
Yeah, there
it's
you go.
gone.
How you
All right.
doing?
Good.
So
Thank
I
you for
was just
having me.
with you. I was just with you yesterday. We were working on a song.
Yep.
So I've got this new track that's coming out called Drum Beater. And I was like, I don't like the mix that I have so far. And Lewis has like these supersonic frequency ears. And I'm like, I gotta go to Lewis's studio to mix this down. And sure enough, I sat down with him for a couple of hours. And we mixed the record down and it sounds golden to me now. Still a couple of little tweaks I want to do. He knows how we go back and forth just to get it perfect sounding so that sonically it's what it needs to be. But Louis, man, how many years have you been producing music now?
Oh, I get since 77, maybe 76, 78, somewhere around there. Late 70s.
Yeah, so you've had like some of your most popular hits in the 80s, predominantly with the group Expose. How was that experience knowing that the song is being played on the radio and now there's potentials to get it on Billboard and going to the top of the charts with a bullet? What was that feeling like for you?
Well, it's a great feeling. What I did is I'm redoing some of my songs with a new group, like you mentioned, called Oh Baby, which we have a diva, an original Expose member, in the new group Oh Baby, and she's somebody that should be on here one day, Lori Miller, and so we put this group together and we're redoing some of my old songs and then plus some new ones that I'm writing. So that's gonna be it's actually ongoing now already. I've already released 2 songs, and new one will be out probably March, some April, some in a month or two. Another new song, and so I'll be releasing a lot of new songs, and working on music for a long time is just my passion, and I just always gravitated to music. Even when I was a little kid, instead of buying cars, I would buy records,
Yeah.
and that's something that's always been in me.
So back in the day when record labels used to hire you to work on Ricky Martin, Celine Dion, like, wow, working with Celine Dion, that's accolades like you would not ever believe. But when they hire you, did you have a direct connection and pipeline with these artists, or did they just tell you what they wanted you to work on and you solely just got the tracks and worked on the tracks and never met the artist? Or was it a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. Like most of the time, the label gets in touch with you, see if you're interested in working with them. And then if it's a remix, mastering, mixing, producing, that kind of stuff, sometimes I don't meet the artist. But when I'm gonna actually record a song from scratch, like I did with Pet Shop Boys and Debbie Gibson and other artists, then I, the artists usually come to me, to my studio, and we record and write the song if it's not written, and I produce it, arrange it, and do all those things to make the song able for release.
I have a
And how,
couple.
yeah,
Oh,
go ahead.
Felix.
No,
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 the
go
only,
ahead.
other question I had was, now being BMI Songwriter of the Year, how do you get that accomplishment, and what does that mean for you and your career?
Mm.
Oh, I mean, that was actually unexpected. I was working in the studio one day here in Miami, not my studio, another studio, and friends of mine come with the Billboard magazine. Hey, you're Songwriter of the Year. And go, well, what's that? I didn't even know what that was. And they showed it to me, and I was like, I have it right here. Like I'm on top of U2, Prince. Let me see who else. Michael Jackson. Yeah. So that year I was on top of all these huge stars, and the funny, and on the Billboard magazine, everybody's got professional pictures that are done by professional. Mine's just like somebody's camera that just took it of me in the studio, and it's not professional. So all the other pictures are like super nice and touched up and all that, and mine's just a natural picture because I wasn't expecting that.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Congratulations. Like, look,
Thank you.
being masterful and at your craft. So I have a few questions. So
Yes.
in the room, one thing we have in common, whether people are in music or not, are the people who are in our community or are watching our things, they are driven to make an impact and a positive impact. And it may be through a nonprofit, it may be through their business, it may be about breaking generational curses in their family, it may be about embracing joy or art, but they're all not your normal people. And that while I think everyone is given a dream, not everyone obsesses, focuses, invests, spends their time, their energy, ups and downs to stay the course. And I think that's a special type of person, and it's a privilege. I mean, it's a privilege to even live where we can do that, and we have
Yes.
choice to do that, right? So what have you done? Have you had moments where you were really trying to create something and you were just stuck and you weren't feeling a flow? Maybe self-doubt was coming in. Did you in your career have moments like that?
Yeah, I guess everybody does. Usually, like what I'll do is I'll go to a club and then see the people dancing, and then I get excited and go back to work. Sometimes I'm just driving in the car and I get ideas. So they just come from everywhere. Sometimes they come in a dream. So sometimes I'm stuck on something, and the idea will come in a dream, and then the next day, I put it down. So it just comes, thanks to God in every shape, form.
Yeah, so but what I hear there is you get in the atmosphere that inspires you and moves you, and that, like seeing people dancing, being in a club, it's kind of a relaxed, passive state, and then boom. And this is
Yes.
the importance of recovery, guys. You're driving down the road, and I think you said looking at the beach or something
Yeah.
like that. Another passive, beautiful, recovered state, recovery, not push, recovery, and boom, something will come through. What was the third example? Or you might dream it. You might dream.
Yes.
Yeah, you might dream. Very passive when you're sleeping, right? Very
Yeah.
passive. Yeah. So I want you to think about that, because champions, half of the best players, the major part secret for them is how much recovery time. Are they getting massages, ice baths, time away from really where they're even Ironmen can't do Ironmen back to back to back to back without a great recovery, without how are they refueling? How are they and so you can't be in tension and serious, driven, uptight focus all the time, even though it feels urgent to get your breakthrough, to solve something, to figure out, and have flow. And it's creative flow and open space and connectedness to God, I heard you say, that allows for that unstuckness and for the flow to start going again. That's really, really good. Thank you for sharing that. Success across any endeavor has some common threads. And so I love that you shared that with us. The other thing is when you always loved music. It was always your thing. But did you have moments where, like, say you hit a mountaintop and you had this moment of mountaintop, maybe it was the award, or maybe, you're working with, and then a valley, like where you're an unexpected kind of breakdown where, do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh
Where,
yeah, no, absolutely.
yeah.
And music, there's nothing but ups and downs. So you're down, especially the radio, not the radio, the record companies. They're like, what have you done for me lately? So unless you have a hit, when you have a hit, everybody's on you. They want you to work with them. And then when you're a little down, then for some reason everybody thinks you forgot how to write music, which is impossible unless you're dead. And so yeah, so it's always I'm always doing things to try to get back to that peak, that everybody likes to be in, and yeah, it's always a trying thing.
I want to make a point real quick. And sometimes you're way ahead of the curve. So what I mean by that is, like, I'll produce a track and I'll put it out there, and for whatever reason the public's not ready to accept it. 2-3 years down the road, you put that same track out, now everybody loves it. So
Yeah.
it's time as well that sometimes factors in to what you're putting and the energy and the music that you're putting out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I think is important about this, because I've seen now you've been producing since you said 77 or 76, right? And
Yeah.
now you've had years and years and you've watched the peaks and valleys, So you have a comfort and you have hindsight of, like, yeah, that's just part of the music business.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the way that it goes. Yeah, this is just how but when it's your first peak valley, right? It can feel like the end of the world, the best of the world, that it can be like, and so I think it's really important to share that it's part of the journey. It's part of the ebb and flow, that when you're in the valley, no matter what others think, you have a way of thinking. For Felix, it's like, I'm just ahead of the curve. Cher also has that belief. I'm always ahead of the curve. Of course, they're going to hate me right now. That's her way of, and so when haters are hating, she's like, you'll get it. You just don't understand. You're not. So it switches her frequency, Marita. It up levels the thing. So it sounds like for you, then you go, okay, it's time for me to get back at it and start.
Yeah, and it's actually reinventing yourself too, because music changes, so you try to stay, like Felix is, ahead of the curve. So you're constantly changing and adapting and also being the foresight in what the music is going to be.
So I want to know for you, because there are a lot of people that dream of having the kind of careers that, the career you have, the experience, the artists you got to work with, and somehow you made it and you got that. And at one time I was listening to Cher, I think it was Angelina Jolie, say that as a grown woman is sitting around on a set all dressed as Snow White or whatever, that Maleficent, they're all dressed in costumes in between sets going, we get paid for this.
Yes.
I'm a grown woman. I get paid to be in a costume and to do all of this. And now she's had years of that, right? It's the same for you in a different way. Like
Well,
what?
it's actually a little different because from the beginning, what I was a producer, songwriter, DJ, so I'm a little bit more behind the scenes. But now in all my new projects, like I just worked with Casey and the Sunshine Band, and I have that new group called Diva, and I mean Oh Baby, and other groups. So what I'm doing is I'm made myself as an artist, like DJs that are DJ Tiesto and other DJs that are very popular. So I want to be, that's what my next phase is, and that's what I'm trying to shoot for, is, you know, being a DJ artist that actually performs, not behind the scenes like I've always been. You know, I've always been in the studio, locked up in here all by myself. I work on a song for 200 hours, and then it's put out, you know, and but nobody knows that, you know. Actually, a lot of times people think that the artists are, which sometimes they are, but the artists are the ones that wrote the songs and made the music, and it's not. It's people in the studio locked up in there for days, and you know, we get some water through the door hole, and we keep working.
Yeah. So what I hear is
Once.
one, I mean, songwriter of the year, that's a big deal. You got that. So you're one of those, and that you in your reinvention. So even though you made it in music, I still want to go back to that. What's it like to be a person who made it in music, and what do you think set you apart so that you could do that? Because while your next cut is being more present, and we're excited for that, we're here for that, there is a part that you got to live that people prayed to live and never made it to that point, to that level of success. I know that's who you were, and you're going somewhere next, and that's the crowd we are, where the past is the past. But I'd love to know, what do you think made you able, or positioned you to be able to live that level of success that is now last year's news?
Just perseverance. I mean, I just kept putting music out there, and writing songs, and working with whoever would work with me, and actually finding talent. A lot of what I do is find talent, and then I nurture it, and you know, and put it out with my music. And just perseverance. You know, you just got to keep going, and you know, and keep learning, mostly because sometimes what you're doing is not to other people's like. So you have to, you know, try to figure out what most of the people like. Not everybody's going to like your music. You know, there's going to be people that don't and people that do. So that's always, you know, music is like a bad word. Everybody has one.
That's awesome. Okay, so perseverance, that's in the chat, and remember, we're participating people, right? So
Right.
if you relate to, yes, perseverance has helped you get to where you've gotten, and you can see that's resonating, put it in the chat. Perseverance, being willing to change and grow. You've been active. You go out and find the talent, you nurture it, you pay attention to, for you, it's important, what does the market want? And not all of the market, but your market. And so
Yeah.
you're listening to the changes there, which is really important in music, especially, right?
Yeah.
And
You have to adopt a lot.
you have to adopt a lot. I have a friend, Matt Morris, who says, if you want to dine with the classes, serve the masses.
Right.
Right. And so you really, that's part of what you do here. All right. And so now your next cut is, I'm tired of being locked up alone in a studio, and I'm ready to get out, like DJ Tiesto or some of these other DJs that are more known as the artist remixing. They're very known for their art.
Exactly. That's hopefully my next step.
I love
It's already being put in place, because all the music that I've been releasing since late last year has got my name as an artist, with either the singer or the group.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Why did you change your name before we start taking
Oh,
questions?
okay. So that's a funny story. I worked at this place called Mutiny, and there was a DJ that had exactly my name and his name were exactly the same. And so he would on Mondays he would go early, pick up both checks, and then back then there wasn't that many, you know, checks and balances. So he would just cash it. I didn't even know that I could take him to court or whatever. But he was taking my checks all the time, so I changed my name, and then he couldn't take my checks anymore. So that was really so.
Funny.
I would have changed my name too.
Yeah. Now you can't take my checks. Bam.
Yeah.
And okay, so what has been I want to know too, your favorite artist of all time that you ever got to work with,
Oh,
and why?
well, not okay. So I have to say two things. The favorite artist that I love is the Beatles.
The Beatles.
I've never worked with them. I wish I could work at least with their tapes or something, you know. But and then I mean, all the artists that I've worked with, they're all my favorite. I can't really pick one because everybody brings something different, and everybody has different sound and things. So yeah, I can't really put like one that that I've worked with that is my favorite. I think they're all my favorite. They're all like, especially the ones that I find, they're like my children. They like, even though I found some artists in the 80s, we're still very good friends just because, we created a camaraderie that, still there.
I love that. My daughter is 14 and she tells me that when she imagines on my deathbed, I'm going to tell her she's my favorite because I tell them all three of them are so my favorite. And
Exactly.
people can't believe that, but I believe you because I know I love each of my children and they're so unique and they're so amazing. And she's like, you're just tell me, just tell me. So that's awesome. And then since you've started putting your name as an artist on your productions, give us a story of that or how it's felt to have
Well,
that.
I mean, it feels good to see now my music on the covers, that you see it, my name, I'm sorry. So that's very, very cool. I'm still waiting for it, one of the songs to take off big, so that way then I can go and perform in front of thousands of people. That's the goal.
Yeah, and so what was the breakthrough that had you go from I'm going to be in the rooms for hours and hours am I allowed to ask your age? I can
Sure.
ask, but what's your age? Tell us your age.
56.
That's awesome. So that's awesome. I just know that you started music in 77. That's
Yeah.
pretty, yeah. So you've been living all these years, hundreds of hours, great accolades, working with some of the biggest names, Celine Dion being one of them. What was that breakthrough that had you go, I'm ready, this is my next 10x, this is my next jump?
Oh, that was really simple. I saw a t-shirt like 20 years ago that said, DJs are superstars. And I go, I'm a DJ, and I actually started DJing before I ever started making music. I started DJing like probably 4 years or 5 before I started doing musics, and I started actually doing remixes. Which remixes, what you do is you take the original song and then you make it either more danceable or more hip hop, or you change it to the way that you feel it should be done. A lot of the songs that come out, the remixes are the ones that make it big. So it's an important thing. So I started out by being a DJ. Well, first being a musician, then a DJ, then a writer producer.
Awesome. 56 is young. In fact, like 5 years back, half the population in the US was over 55. So if we're on that side, we're on the young side. I agree. Okay, well, I love that. And this is a big leap going from being hours in a cave to now my second half's going to be thousands of people in the
Well,
audience.
I'll still be hours in the cave because I still got to make music. So
Okay,
I'll be doing both.
You'll be doing both. I love it. I love it. Awesome. Well, we're going to open up for a few questions and then we'll do takeaway. So Solania, I saw your hand was up. Let's go ahead and I want you to go right to questions so we have time for takeaways. Okay.
Sure. Hello, everybody. My question
Hi.
to you is, in this age of, AI music and stuff like that, what are your feelings when it comes with creating music with AI?
I mean, I think it's horrible because it's taking the creativity out of a lot of people's hands. And before I did music and things, I used to be a commercial artist. And as computers started coming in, the commercial artists were, fired. I worked in a place where it had 22 artists that did commercial art, and then they all got replaced by one computer. So it's kind of like the same thing. The writers are going to be replaced by AI, just like actors are going to be replaced by AI too. And so I think it's horrible. I think that technologies, we can't stop it, but I don't like it.
Yeah, that's a great question. I wonder how, and we always evolve from that. So I wonder how the market is going to shift, what we're going to be thirsty for, because I notice myself reading less because most of it is written by someone else now, and it's not as, I can feel it, and I'm not
Yeah.
as engaged with all this data. I can't listen to audiobooks anymore that are read by a narrator. It doesn't feel connected to me. I need the person. And so there's got to be some kind of tipping of that. When everything is artificial, then if we can anticipate what the demand on the other side of that will be and get involved there, and bring your music there, bring your performance there, bring us as speakers, teachers there, then we're part of solving for the
Yeah,
masses.
I think maybe some laws need to be passed where if a song is written by AI, it should be written somewhere like, like bad language. You know how you put a bad language credit on the record? Well, this AI writer, so that way, at least people can make a choice to buy from real writers or a computer.
Yeah. Marita is requesting DJ Martinet, can you create a dance song for the Diva Network?
Of course.
Awesome. We love the dance.
Felix and I will do it together.
Yeah, Felix is the OG. He's our original connection, OC. He's our OC. Okay, Dr. Ann, brilliant with the music. All right, Dr. Andrea.
Yes, thank you very much. I have two questions, but you can answer both or just one. What has been the most transformative moment in your musical journey? One that you'd say reshaped not only your career, but also your personal growth. Your personal growth. This is one. The second is how.
Wait, let's let him answer that one first. Let's go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay, so the moments are always the first time I hear the song on the radio. First time I hear it on the radio is like a moment that like stops in time. And then when I first see it on YouTube, so all the first when I see one of my groups performing at a big festival. So just it's just all the things when your music is being used. The first time it was used in a TV series or in a movie, those are always great moments. I mean, just last year, Point of Return was used in a program on either Netflix or something, and I didn't know it was on there. I'm watching the program, and there goes the song, and I'm like jumping all over the my living room. So yeah, so those are always great moments whenever you hear what you created, coming out across.
Awesome. Okay, second question, Dr. Andrea.
Oh, thank you, Adora. How do you balance the demands of the industry? And you're mentioning some, about this new AI and everything. How do you balance the demands of the industry with staying true to your authentic self and, most important, to the creative vision that you just mentioned and that I love it?
Basically, I just do what I feel is right. Like I'll writing a song is a long process. Sometimes it's quick, but most of the time it's long. And what I do is I create, and then I listen to it in my car, listen to it in the house, or go to a friend's club and hear it there, and then I change it or totally rewrite it, throw everything out and start from scratch. So yeah, so everything's always a trying stage. At least the good thing about music is that you can try it before you actually release it. Once it's released, then you know, then it's done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, we have 11 minutes. So another question or core takeaways. And this is important for you to ground in what are you taking away from this moment for yourself? And it's also generous to the speaker. And I want us to be succinct so that more people can share. Okay, Salani.
I have like a quick question. I think it's a safe space for me to share what I'm up to. So me and my daughter, we are creating a music album. What my idea is, I'm going to be using AI with the instruments and stuff. I'm going to copyright it, license it. So then I'm going to get her into the studio to kind of sing the song. So is there any other way to do this rather than having to license it for and copyright it myself and then having to copyright it for her? So I'm curious about your thoughts.
So you're gonna have AI write the song for you? Is that what you're doing?
No, we are writing the songs. It's more
Okay.
like a cry for help because, as you said, we revolutionized. So songs that resonated in the past, they don't resonate anymore. So it's more like uplifting music. So we are the lyrics fixing the songs ourselves. But when it comes into the rhythm, I want to have AI kind of say, you know, play around with the rhythms and see what resonates.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's a lot of people are doing that. So, you know, I mean, that would be good for you. Other than that, then you can hire a producer or arranger, but you know that's going to cost a little bit more money than having, you know, the computer do it for you. So yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of what your budget is really. If the only thing you can do is get it from AI, then you know that's all you can do.
And we can always level up in the future.
But you know a guy, Felix Sama, who already spilled out that he's here to help people get their music and their branding. And
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I just want to say this real quick. At the end of the day, it's about personal preference, and obviously, you know, budgeting comes into play. But I'll give you a scenario real quick. For instance, you know, in the past, I've been stuck not having a singer to do a project that I wanted to do. So I'll go up on a platform like Fiverr or something like that, looking for singers sometimes. And I remember this one time I hired this one singer, and when I got back the session that the singer did, I was like, wait a minute, this sounds like super robotic. I'm like, this does not sound like a real singer. And I said, do you mind? I told the person, I said, do you mind jumping on a Zoom call with me real quick? I just want to talk to you real quick. And they were like, no, I really don't have time to jump on a Zoom call. And I was like, okay, I see what you let AI do this, you know, thing for you. And that's not what I'm looking for. Like, I'm looking for real singers to jump on, you know, the music that I produce. For now, you know, maybe for a jingle down the road, I may be okay with an AI voice to do a little, you know, something for me. But for the most part, that's my personal preference and what I'm looking for. So it's all dependent on, you know, what I don't think singers are going anywhere anytime soon, I'll be honest with you. Because there is a big difference with an AI singer and a real singer. And if you really listen, you'll be able to tell.
yeah, and I think
So,
they're gonna sing the music, but she's gonna have the stuff mixed in the
no,
back.
no, I heard that part. I was just giving you my scenario of what happened to me.
I love it. We love your scenario. I imagine the person dodging you and the robotic.
I got my money back.
Good, good, good. Alexandra.
Hello, everyone. It's
Hi.
so nice to meet you all. It's so funny this week we're hearing a lot of musicians, and that's kind of my other life that I have. My son's name is Kyle Dion. He's a pretty big artist out of LA. He's actually here visiting, so he has been listening a little bit as he's working. He's here visiting from LA just for a few days, but he's, my God, I've songwriter, singer, look him up, Kyle Dion. He's pretty dope. He's also signed, you know, to a label and has a huge support, but everything you all are saying, I'm like, I have to jump on and just say hello because we've been living it since he was like 15 years old and has done a lot of, you know, just has a song with Ja Rule, like he's doing some big things in the industry. So
Great.
yeah, thank you for the information that you gave today. We always love to hear like, you know, just experiences and things that other artists have gone through because it's a really hard industry. And trust me, as a mom who has now 3 artists, It's hard, and
Yeah,
you
it's hard.
you can get down a lot, and you can,
Is he a singer or a writer, producer, or all?
Oh, he's a singer, songwriter. That's what he does. I mean, he does. My son gets involved in all the art and production side of it, just because he's just been doing it since he was 15, and he knows his sound a little bit. If you look him up, he's got a little Michael, a little the Prince vibe. I mean, that's what everyone says. So he's got a beautiful voice, and he always says, "My mic is always on." When he's on stage, he sells out shows all over the world. He's getting
Great.
on tour. Yeah, he's heading out to tour. In the next few months, and yeah, he's doing some good things. So we just love listening to you today, and just listening to just wisdom and your story. So I heard him, like, he's like, "Mom, what are you doing? Like, how are you listening to music stuff?" I'm like, "Well, I'm part of DIVA Network."
Yeah.
I'm like, and he's like, "What is DIVA Network?" Like, I'm just trying to explain to him how all that attaches, like, to my business. And I was like, it's all kind of the same. We all go through some of the same struggles, right? But listening to different industries and some of their struggles can really help our own personal industry. So he's like, I got it. But we were listening to some nuggets that you were giving. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
They want you to put his name on the chat.
Sure. If you worked with Celine Dion, so this is easy. So Kyle Dion.
Okay.
There you go. That's easy.
Kyle Dion. He's just Google. He's everywhere. So yeah, I'll put it in the chat anyway. But thank you for allowing me to come up.
Felix had a question too.
Yes.
No, I was going to say some of the younger producers are now sampling some of the popular songs from back in the 80s. For instance, Spring Love got sampled by DJ Khaled and Fat Joe not too long ago, about 2 or 3 months ago, and they came out with another song. I think it was called Paradise. And Stevie didn't even know about it. And he was like, "Man, what? Did somebody sample my song? Oh, hell no." He got on the phone and started calling, his lawyer, whatever, boom, boom. But they straightened it all out. Fast forward, Fat Joe and DJ Khaled invited Stevie to come to the award show. They gave him his shine and all that good stuff. But then Stevie turned around to me and he's like, "Yo, Felix, Spring Love is hot right now. I want you to remix it in all genres."
Yeah.
So we remixed Spring Love in hip hop, house. Lewis did one of the freestyle break beats that I did. And it's going to give the song a whole new life, which is awesome. Yeah. We encourage young producers to go to the 80s catalog, grab what you can work with, and make it fire. Make it fire.
And sample it.
So Kyle did some sampling in his new album. It's not out yet. He just put out 3 singles, but his new album comes out in a few months. And he put some sampling in there. It's so dope, like a little Michael. You won't, unless you're a producer, you won't hear it. But as far as Fat Joe is like our people. He was at my house a while back, and I just saw him the other day at Maderanos in Fort Lauderdale. But he's good people, man. We love him. He came to check out Kyle when he was a little younger back in the day. So
and so the community knows. And first of all, Felix is there and does a thing at the Hard Rock once a month, the 80s town. We're looking down the line at how do we take a self-development day and feed it into something at the Hard Rock and everybody vibing out, and Felix being one of the speakers. So Alexandra is helping to launch the in-person DIVA Network events in Miami and Orlando. She's also coming on board as we go into Brazil, which CVB is really big in Brazil, right? And Dr. Andrea. And so Alexandra is a huge community, inspirational speaker, definitely a great connection for you to have locally. She has an Elevate event that people are speaking at. We want to see Felix on more stages, and he's going to be working in some really cool stuff that I don't want to tell people about, and I just want us to show and tell. And so Felix, that's a little like,
I just followed you, Felix. Definitely will connect with you after.
Felix, the best way to prepare for a talk? Book a talk.
I'm gonna get don't play. I'll get you on that stage. It's not too late. We're sold out for Elevate, but I'm tempted to get you on that stage.
Get on her stage and he's gonna do something no one else will do. When is that event, Alex?
March 28th. March 28th. I may be bringing you over to it's in Deerfield Beach, so it's not far.
Felix, March 28th.
I'm South Florida girl over here. I'm the diva in South Florida.
March 28th, I diva dare you. Double dare, you get what we did now? Okay, I diva dare you to go and bring your tables and give a talk with the tables, the way that we have been talking about, so that you can inspired, and you're in the perfect room because DJ Martinet has started making his next cut moves. It's time to level up and
I love that. This is
do it.
so
And
cool.
the best way to prepare for a talk is to book the talk. You'll get your stuff together real quick.
So
I like
wrote
it.
the
I
book.
like
I
it.
wrote the book called The Power of Networking, and this is what it's about.
I
It's all
love
about
that.
connections. You meet one person, and then all of a sudden,
Is it an audiobook too?
no, I haven't made an audio yet. It's funny that Doris said she doesn't really like audio. A lot of
No,
people
I
want me to do
love
it
them in your own voice. I
in your
have
own voice.
audio
Got
book.
it. Okay.
I don't like listening to a
To other
narrated.
people.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's on Amazon right now. It's called The Power of Networking.
Which
Can you put it
Alexandra will
can you
be
put it in the
teaching.
chat? Can you put
Yeah,
it in
yeah.
the chat so
I
I'm
will.
gonna buy
Yeah,
it.
put it in the chat. Also, Alexandra will be teaching a couple times a month, sales and networking, guys.
Okay.
I mean, we're always working for you behind the scenes, but let's land this, because look, you learn how to network by watching it, and we're seeing it unfold right now. That the stuff we learn in here touches all of our lives. But Alex, will you, you're confirming you'd love for Felix to come? And
Yes. I'm
okay,
going to
Felix,
connect with him after
will
that. So I'm going to give
will
you.
you commit? Wait, we commit first. Eric Sorensen taught us that. So Felix, will you go speak and do it the way we talked about? Bring your tables on the
Yeah,
28th.
I'm checking the date now. I'm checking the date now.
Yeah,
It looks
I
like
don't.
I'm
Yeah.
a bit. Yeah, what's the time on that?
So we already, like I said, we're sold out. So the runner show is already completed. So I will see. Because you're part of this, I will make sure we fit you into the program. I got to get with my MC, but we do have like a DJ that's going to be on. I wish I knew you before that, but it's okay. We'll make it work. I could even have you come in and get a piece of it. Well, listen, we will put you in. If you can commit, we'll make it happen.
Okay, so let's talk about the date. And what I'd love even most is, instead of you showing up as DJ Sama, you show up as the inspirational speaker that throws your music in there, and just be that, just be that, deliver that. That's your next cut. And it's the perfect opportunity. What is I know we don't know the exact time Felix will talk, but what time is that event?
It starts at 9. It's a one-day conference. It starts at 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So it's from 9 to 3. We have speakers, keynote speakers. They're already lined up. And then after that, we have, we're honoring some incredible women in the industry doing some amazing things. So that's from 3 to 4. And then from 4 to 6 is the happy hour. So where I could fit him in is probably around the happy hour time.
Well, he's gonna, however you guys do it, but
Yeah.
speaking with mix, speaking
That's
with.
what I want him to do. Like get on like the mic and just with the DJ, like something. We'll talk it out. But I think listen, I will get you in there. If you can commit, I will bring you in and we will find a space for you to deliver your message. Absolutely.
And deliver it as a powerful speaker, not as the DJ.
Right.
A powerful speaker who's also a DJ. That from that framework where people can listen.
That's the route we're going. Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right. All right.
Okay,
Yes.
let's do it. Yep,
Let's do it. Wait,
Okay.
come on, let's celebrate community. Let's
Yes,
celebrate.
I'm glad I said something. I told my son, I said, should I say something? He goes, Mom, just jump in there. And I'm like, all right, fine. Because I'm listening and doing things. I'm glad I jumped in here. Look at all the amazing connections we just made. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Very humbled. Thank you.
Only at the DIVA Network. No, it happens.
Only at the DIVA Network.
Only at the DIVA Network. Oh man, DJ, there you are. There you are. Okay. All right. So I know we went about 3 minutes over. I am so grateful for all of you, our whole community. I want you to notice what's happening. And even in a small room, right? And the rooms are growing. You're going to see it's going to be like a small hum, and then it's going to be explosive. But what we get to condition in is collaboration, connection, resourcing, sharing, recovery time. DJ, you got me there, like recovery time. And we can't wait to celebrate you over this next year, landing you're in front of thousands of people. Thank you for inspiring us with your next cut, with your reinvention, and for sharing your wisdom and your messages. Felix, thank you for jumping in as my friend and now colleague, because you're going to be the speaker, DJ Sama. Felix Sama, but yeah, like jumping in and being generous and like Jimmy and we all talk about, it's always alignment, and it always starts with who. With the right who, you'll do multiple projects. You'll do multiple whys. You'll do, because we want to go on vacation, because we want to see DJ I want to say Martini because one of my favorite
That's
speakers,
okay.
Dr. John
Either way.
Martinet. Sorry about that.
Okay, you got it,
We
you got
want
it,
to
you got
see,
it.
yeah, you know, because you want to see him in front of thousands of people instead of just in the cave, right? You'll come up with lots of what's, but when you find a good who, dig in and you'll keep asking, what are we meant to do together? Why are we connected? Sometimes it's just friendship and camaraderie, which is very valuable. And often it's multiple things, you know, and it will unfold over time. So
And
thank you.
check out. I'm just gonna for everybody to
But-
check out just one of my songs, and I mean they can check out as many as they want. But go to DJ Martinet anywhere, any platform, Spotify, Apple Music, or YouTube, whatever. DJ Martinet and Oh Baby Soulful Mix, and I want you know
Soulful
for people to hear that so they know what music I do.
We need a playlist from this week. And thank you for inspiring us. You really did. You
Thank you.
inspire the thing I'm really doing right now, part of this community redesign, is to have more spaciousness and to be able to block things in a certain way. And because of that, because you need creative flow, strategic thinking, you need space to be able to vision what's next. And you really validated that a lot for me today, and you inspired me as well with your you know, here's where I'm going next, and it's time to embrace that and to see you taking that bold next leap. And the thing you are, one of the energies that you bring to the room is excellence. You know, there's no way that you have accomplished what you've accomplished without being excellent in what you do and focused and really masterful. And to get to share space with excellence, we become more excellent. It raises our standard. So thank you so much for being that and being with us today.
Thank you.
Right.
All right, let's go to gallery view. We love you guys. Come off mute and
Love
say
you.
bye.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Bye. Thank
Very
you.
much.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Happy Thursday, everyone.
Happy
I've got a
Thursday.
big head. Put us in gallery view. There we go. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Love you, Dora.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone. Bye, everyone.